set it up? Or
Yeah, you should set it up while I'm calling.
Well, of course, he's the international man of mystery, the founder of McAfee virus software, former CEO and the founder, the creator of the program, John McAfee.
Hey, John, we got you? Yeah, and I was saying that a couple weeks ago there was a little scare there on Twitter where you were offline for a while, and you took a nice picture in was that a jail that you were in?
Oh, absolutely, it was certainly not the Hilton.
No, well, I mean it depends. It might have been a Motel 8.
It could have been a Hyatt.
A Hyatt, yeah, there you go.
It could have been the Hyatt. Okay, yeah. No, actually, it was the Dominican Republic jail.
Okay,
actually, not one of the worst I've been in. It's far better than most third world jails. I'll be frank. I've been in most third world jails, so I do have something to compare it to. It wasn't bad. I mean, 4 days in detention. Janice didn't take it as well as the boys did. That's me and my staff who were with me, my security and others who were in the cell with me. Janice was in with 40 strange women who spoke only Spanish and did not enjoy herself. However, we're not there now, and we're in a lovely, partly warm location. It gets up to the mid-50s during the day, which is spectacular. So we're enjoying ourselves.
Am I the only one, though, that would probably just anybody press 1 in the chat if you would read a book written by John McAfee where he reviews Caribbean jails?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just for, you know what I mean? You could just write over, like each chapter is a different, the food was all right, but really it was like, it was leaking every night, it was cold. I would read that book in a heartbeat.
I'm at the whims of the forces of the world. Listen, I tell the truth as I see it, or I just tell it as I see it. That's the most dangerous thing in life to do. And when you do that, you make way more enemies than friends. And in fact, many of your friends will simply abandon you. Nobody wants to see it as it is. Everybody lives in a dream. So, however, I'm old. I don't have the energy to tell deceptive things anymore because you got to remember that shit, right?
Right.
And who can remember a lie? So anyway, I'm at the mercy of my enemies, which are, multitudinous. And so they just drive me. I'm like cattle. I get driven here and there.
Now, when you say enemies,
at the head of the crowd.
when you say enemies, like who are you referring to?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, which period in my life? I mean,
well, currently, let's say currently. Let's say good point. Currently.
One of my first really large enemies was the Belizean government that spent a month and a half with the entire army and police force searching for me because I had, maybe I did something wrong. I tapped into all of the government computers. I had a reason to do so, so please don't judge me here. Looking for something I did find some horrible facts, that the prime minister had ordered the murder of 30 or 40 of his associates in business, that the minister of national defense was the largest drug dealer in Central America, that the minister of immigration was the largest human trafficker. I mean, this is pretty horrific shit to find out. And unfortunately, one of the women that I was living with and who was working, reducing all that data, slept with the minister of national defense. And idiot that she was, she told him what she was doing. Not to hurt me, but innocently. She didn't know. In any case, that's the long story. So that's one enemy. Are you still with me?
Yeah, trust me when I tell you have our undivided attention
and
right
just
now.
A side note for people listening at home, too, is it the Prime Minister of Belize? What's the head of state over there? The guy, the head of, is it President or Prime Minister? Prime Minister.
Prime Minister is a Prime Minister, and his name is Dean Barrow. He's still in power.
And his son is the guy that took the gun charge for Puffy.
That's for years. He may still be. So that's another one. I pissed off the Bahamas government because I discovered that the chief of police there was one of the most corrupt people in the world. And being the person I am, I can't keep my mouth shut. And it was in headlines in all the newspapers when I released his private bank account number, his private bank, his deposits, his receipts, the cash that he took out. Well, that bastard came after me. Cuba threw me out. Dominican Republic, I fucking can't go back there. So when I make enemies, these are large enemies. Then the small enemies are just the people I piss off. If I'm not going to mention the name, but if some well-known internet personality is watching preteen girls twerk, I mean, I got to say something about that. Well, I get sued as a result. So anyway, I make enemies. I've got the CIA and the FBI and the entire U.S. government, because for 2 years I have been preaching on stage. You want to free yourself from the government, from paying taxes? Go to cryptocurrency. Get yourself a privacy coin and a distributed exchange, and those fucks will never know anything about your income. And I preach this. Why? Because I believe it. First of all, I'm a libertarian. Most of us believe taxes are theft. They are. Jesus God. I mean, why should I have to work 4 months or 3 for the government every fucking year? I'm not a slave, even though I'm treated like one. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. I still have been preaching it so loudly that it not just pissed them off, it started scaring them. Well, you don't want to scare a big-ass government, unless you're a very slippery motherfucker like myself and my wife, Janice. Catching us and holding us for a long time is a difficult thing to do. So, are you still with me?
You're very good at thumbing your nose at them, though. I have to give you that much. It is. I understand you're under a bit of duress, and you obviously have your issues with these people. But it is really fun having a guy just out there motherfucking people. Like, when you have that many people aligned to take you down, and you're just flipping them off and posing on a boat with guns.
Hi.
Janice is sort of new to this life. She's only been with me 7 years.
Okay.
It's been 7 long years for her. Or do you feel under duress?
No.
No. And why?
No. Because we're free to come and go as we want to.
Yeah, we're free. We have always been free, even in that fucking jail. I don't know if you saw those pictures. I was smiling. I was joking. We were cracking jokes. We got all the prison guards involved that passed us cigarettes and beer and bought food. Jesus Christ. I mean, you can have fun wherever you are if you're honest and open and love everybody, which we do. So we are not, please God, do not think we are under duress.
Oh,
we are just.
I might have misspoke. I just meant under pressure. As far as these people are constantly, kind of out to add stress to your life, and you have to move a lot. I would find that stressful myself personally. Right. But so, what are your thoughts right now on? We got like these red flag. We have a president now who's joking about red flagging people, taking guns. Things are getting very spicy here in America. What are your thoughts about these the red flag laws and Dan Crenshaw?
Well, Jesus, I mean, anybody who follows me even remotely, once a month, cannot help but notice I am for individual freedom 100%. There's nothing else, because if you're not free, you're not alive. You're a slave. Well, you're alive, but what life does a slave have? There's only 2 options. You're free or you're a slave. Well, Janice and I are free, and as a result, I get to say whatever I fucking want, and I do it all the time. I mean, the Federal Bureau of Investigation's cracking down now on conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
If you believe, and in their statement, if you actually believe that the U.S. government lies and does malicious things to the American public, that's a conspiracy theory. And you can go to jail. Can you fucking believe that?
Oh, I mean,
they're taking our guns, they're taking our free speech, and they're selling us this nebulous thing called security in exchange for our privacies and freedoms. And please God, you need to understand there is no difference between privacy and freedom, because you cannot have freedom unless you first have privacy.
Yes. Stuff. And but I guess the segues into this. What do you think, and what are your thoughts of what went on and what's happening with Epstein?
Well, here's the thing. For example, one of the nice things about the IRS cracking down on conspiracy theorists is, if they're legitimate, why don't they crack down on those idiot conspiracy theorists who actually believe that Epstein committed suicide? Those people should be in jail. And who are those people? They're our government They're the officials. They're the autopsy guy. They're the prison officials. Everybody. So this is a joke, please God. Just listen for 1 second to the facts. Okay. He had a cellmate up until a few hours before he, quote, hung himself. The prison guards were told to go home early. The cameras were not even positioned properly to see what was going on in that area. Bones were broken in his neck, consistent with somebody strangling you with force. He told people that he thought people were trying to kill him. The inmates who knew him said he was finally adjusting and seemed quite happy and content. So please God, anybody who believes that man committed suicide needs to move out of their mother's house.
You know, it's true, and it's not only that. It is a coordinated effort, because it's not just like CNN. Every network I've been on has been having quote unquote medical experts going, "Well, no, he could have still hung himself, and we don't know what he did." But now there's a lot of people, also a lot of people saying that somebody like Epstein would have had a dead man switch, right, where he would have released stuff upon his death. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Didn't know Jeffrey personally. Never met him. I certainly never had dinner with him. I'd be the last person in the world to know whether he would have had a dead man switch.
Yeah,
and you can bet your ass that I do.
Well, yeah, and that's my point. Like when you know, if you're in a situation, somebody, and again, it's just common sense. It's not whether you would know or not, but if you're somebody that had that much incriminating stuff on very powerful people, you would think you would protect yourself in the event of someone trying to kill you. You know.
Well, absolutely, and the only way to do that is to broadcast to those powerful people directly little tidbits saying, "Here, you think I don't have anything? Well, how about this?" Now, no one will ever see this as long as I continue to breathe. You should spend every last penny you have to make sure I breathe as long as possible. That's the purpose of a dead man switch. Listen, I hate to be callous about humanity, but releasing that information to the public, is it going to do any good? No. It's going to go on. The corruption will continue to go on. It will cause my instantaneous death. So the only value in this information to me is, as long as it is secret, I continue to breathe until I find a natural end to this life. It is a mistake to underestimate the intelligence of the average American person.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You can't judge their actions and reactions while they're half asleep to their same reactions and reactions when they're awake, because they will be different reactions, I promise you. Abraham Lincoln understood this quite fully. Do not underestimate the intelligence of the average American. And do not overestimate the average American's laziness, right? Or willingness to just go along until they're no longer willing. And you're going to see some woken up people with some high intelligence that are really pissed off. And this will stop.
Now, you know, and going on that and seeing your life philosophy and everything, I've read here that you're throwing your hat into the 2020 presidential bid.
Yeah, I already have. I ran in 2016 under the Libertarian banner, got in all the debates, including the national debates, had a blast. But I did it wrong. Okay, I was playing politics as normal. And now I'm not. I know I'm not going to win. I know that nobody in the Libertarian Party is going to win. I know that no third party is going to win. Please, God, let's get real. I can't be elected president. Anybody who thinks so, stop using drugs or move out of your mom's closet or something, because there's something wrong with you. No. However, I'm running because it gives me the opportunity to access the national stage, to try to wake people up a little more. That's it, pure and simple.
Yeah, and anything for the Libertarian Party would be better than Gary Johnson. So,
well, as a guy who jumped off the Trump train and broke both my legs, I'm on the McAfee train now.
You have to admit, Gary Johnson was the best entertainment the Libertarians have ever put forth.
Entertainment, I would agree with, but that's the problem. He was so non-threatening. Like, you know, when Ron Paul ran as a libertarian in 2012, right? They actually were worried about him taking votes away, where they wouldn't even mention him in polls. Nobody was actually ever afraid of Gary Johnson.
Well, no, but he was entertaining. I mean, when
Right.
they ask him, "What do you think about Aleppo?" and he goes, "What's
what?
it's an Aleppo?" I mean, there's a prime instance, or the video of him opening a pickle jar where the lid had been
I remember that.
glued to the jar, and he had it between his legs, and he was trying to open it, and it just looked like public masturbation. I mean, pure and simple.
And when he
yet-
faked a heart attack, with the weed thing. But what's next for you? I mean, you say you're living free. What's your next thing? Are you working on anything? Or you're just living life?
Boy, I'm working on more shit than I can count. I'm always working on something. I'm always creating or developing, and some of the projects I can't talk about. Others are boring, but yeah, I keep myself busy. And I'm running my campaign. I've got thousands of volunteers in the States. Rob Loja is a masterful campaign manager. We've got regional coordinators all around the nation. So the campaign's going well, and it takes a reasonable amount of my time. Twitter is sort of my public voice. And when I feel like saying something that needs to be said, I choose Twitter as my medium. And to be fair to people, I have to respond to comments. Else, what's the point of saying something if I don't listen to people's responses, right? So that takes time. I keep busy.
Yeah. Well, can't you maybe that's
So anyway, I'm not good about Trump buying Greenland because
Sure.
I got questions. I mean, okay, so when you buy Greenland, what do you actually get? Do you get all the land? I mean, like including the land that's allegedly owned by Greenlanders, which is all of it? Or do you get just the government? And if you do, of what value is it? Do you get the people? I mean, can you make them work for you? I mean, I got a bunch of fucking questions. And so tomorrow I'm going to ask them again on my Twitter.
Well, it is like a child. It was a very childlike thing to just be like, we should just buy Greenland. Looks like there's plenty of stuff up there. Like it's just a very childlike spitballing in a meeting. I think I've seen a lot of trees.
Okay,
I've seen ice. I think ice can be turned into water. I've seen Mad Max. Water's going to be a problem in a few years, folks.
For God's sake, please, people, wake up. I mean, wake the fuck up.